So here we are with Mr. Great Friend, new acquaintance of ours, Jarrell Pyro Johnson. He is a producer, an actor, a content creator, a developer of content, and just a massive creative in the industry here. I'm glad that we're connected with Jarrell. I want all the viewers to know that this is the first time I'm meeting Jarrell. I figured let's try, a first meet straight pod. So we're here with Jarrell. Jarrell, please tell us your bio. Tell us who you are. What where you from? What do you do? Like, what are you? Like, who is Jarrell?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me, man. This is already awesome. Been fun. We haven't even started yet. So yeah, my name is Jarrell Pyro Johnson. I am originally from Compton, California, and I am a creative. That is what I would describe myself as. I used to be a rapper. I used to be an actor. Well, I still act. I produce, I direct, I financially coach people. But I just like to call myself a creative. I like to be a creator of possibilities. So, and that could be entertainment wise, that could be financial wise, whatever wise that people need help making. I like to be the plug to help create that or bring the visions out. So it doesn't even matter what it is. If it sounds good and it'll probably help the masses, I am that person that just wants to create that and make that happen. So I'm an all-around creative. That's who Jarrell Pyro Johnson is.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a good thing. Now, financial, I didn't know that about because we're right. What's your background in finance? Do you have any background in financing?
Well, see, I started in Los Angeles. I used to do real estate. And as I was doing real estate, I realized that there are a lot of people that can afford the homes that they want. And mainly the reason is because they don't have the knowledge to even know how to afford the homes they want. Like, it's one thing to say, oh, I need money, but there's another thing to say is how do you get the money that you need versus just saying I need the money. So because of that experience that I've had with a few people, it made me, it's like something is missing. So let me figure out how to help them. And then as I was figuring out how to help them, I'm like, well, this is all entertainment is. Most people want to make films too. How do you help people get money to make films? Because you need money. I mean, you don't need it, but it helps. It makes filmmaking process a lot easier when you have money.
Right. I mean, because we're talking about different levels of tiers of production, and the more equipment you have, the better you are. It's like any contractor in real estate or a painter or any handyman. The more equipment he has, the better his work gets.
The better work and the more work you get too.
Right. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, I also dabble in real estate. We have a few properties, development properties. Slow pace. We're not really aggressive on it, but yeah, definitely. How do people don't know that they can really get into the market of real estate quick, and they don't have
fairly easy. You're actually on the fun side of real estate. When I was doing real estate, before I even knew there was a fun side, I was on the side of how do we figure out how to put you in a home versus how to make a home and create homes. Like it was just it was a bit different. So I'm learning the fun side that you're on now. So yes, real estate is a blast.
But I think anyone can be on the fun side. I know people with no money were able to already do closings. They flipped the home the same day and they sold the home the same day. That was before the crash of 2000. I think that's what caused the crash personally. But in general,
but it's true.
It is. You can't deny it. That's the reality.
But what's crazy about that? History repeats itself. So if it happened once, it'll happen again.
Yeah, because people fumble. I mean, in football we fumble, in life we fumble. That's just the reality, and we have to create those contingencies for those fumbling. For those failures. No doubt. Wow. So I didn't know that. So real estate is. So you do courses for real estate or financial real estate?
I don't really. I know a lot about real estate, and I get people started to go into real estate, but I don't go into depth in teaching real estate. I like to develop the groundwork. Most people you could jump in it, but if your ground isn't right, you'll fall a lot easier versus having your ground straight. So what I like to do is teach people how to get their ground right, how to build their credit up, how to get the financing. Like that is the courses that I like to teach. So that is where I'm at.
So you do have those courses for let's say local area. Yes. Right. That's awesome. I
do coaching calls. I do how to help build a business, how to start a business, how to get your first 5,000, how to get towards 10,000.
Oh, you got to come on more podcasts and try to help us figure it out. Let's get people figure out, how does a person get to that level? You know what I mean?
Right.
And also, how do we figure out the pollen? My nose is itching. The pollen count in New York is a disaster. I cannot stand this. It's so annoying. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous.
This is why I left big cities.
Yeah, yeah. Palette is so. Anyway, back to the beside the palette, right? Question, obviously. So, so there's financial creative, right?
Yes.
That financial creative lets you create potentially short stories. Figure out how to create a small budget for short stories. I know Gary Vee always said, I'm going to plug in Gary Vee in our podcast. He always says when you do content, sometimes don't go fancy, just produce content.
Just put out content, man. That
Right.
actually, I broke with one of my ex-girlfriends because of that reason. It was like, it's not about how great it is. It's about you just putting it out, like letting people see. And the thing is the way the universe works. I'm very into the universe. Once you put something out, you put it to the universe and the universe will maximize it. But if you don't put it out to the universe, it will never be maximized, it'll be minimized. And then you'll never create nothing. And then you'll be like, oh, I could have done or I would have done, versus saying, hey, I did. It didn't do that great, but I did. And so Gary Vee is absolutely correct. He's one of the people that, well, back in the early YouTube world, when I used to first start, was one of the people that I really looked up to when it came to
Wow. And by the way, you're 100% right. Most people will stick on a book idea for their whole life, never end up writing that book because they think perfection in grammar, but let's say, or in writing skill is, you're not going to be a Mark Twain. Calm down. You have an idea, send it out. You know what I mean? Like let's make it clear. You're not getting there, you know, but put out your content because your story is awesome. Right. You know what I mean? That's why I always tell people to write. Don't get fancy.
Just write it.
Let's write it. You don't like it, write another book.
Right.
Whether it's philosophy.
The interesting part about that is, sorry to cut you off.
No worries.
But you know, we could say the same thing, but the person that I will affect will be different than the person you affect. So you not putting out your content, you're actually doing a harm and a disservice to the world versus a service. Because you might be inspiring the next Elon Musk, and they needed to hear you to become who they are.
Of course, I agreed. And another thing I try to tell people is also, like, just because a movie was developed 2006 doesn't mean you can't play today in 2022, because it could be new to a lot of people.
Right.
And that's what people have to understand. Every story, every idea can be new to someone else. It might be old to you and you feel, oh, why we're going to put this old stuff? No.
Yeah.
How many people saw it? How many people now potentially can see it now? Put it on. You know, that's where we're coming from in our company. But nevertheless, what are the things that you're developing? I mean, like, I'm excited with the way you're speaking. I mean, what are you like? Let's digest one at a time. What's going on with you?
Okay, so a lot of people who know me know that I am an actor. And I used to do YouTube back in 2006. I was one of the original YouTubers, like back when YouTube was not even, before Google bought YouTube. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
What I did is I used to do a lot of skits and sketches with my friends, did a few music videos, and a few like very small short form content. However, as I move forward, I'm working on a film right now called Dinner with the God of War. It is literally a fan film about the video game God of War that came out in 2005. So technically, this is my first big film debut that I'm working on. I'm producing, I'm directing, I'm acting, I'm doing a lot. And it's not because I want to, it's because I have to. So my goal is, as an ex-YouTuber, the goal was you do everything. But as a filmmaker, you hire people that are better than you. So I hired people that were better than me work on this film. However, things happened and a few people dropped out. However, I have a mission. So the mission is to create this short film, no matter what it takes. So I'm taking up the reins of director, producer, actor now, because this film has to be shown, because it's deeper than the video game now. It started off as like, oh man, it's a fan film, and you know, Pyro, that's what they call me. Pyro just wanted to just make a film. Yes, I did want to make a film, my first debut film. However, as we developed the story, wrote the script, it became deeper. The message in it was so much deeper, and the impact that needed to be shown, like we were talking about earlier, needed to be shown. So I had to do what I have to do to make this happen. I'm actually still in process of this film because of things that happen, but I'm like, it still has to go on. The story, the train has to keep rolling. Or the boat.
I feel the passion. I'm with you on the passion. I mean, is it going to correlate with the game story of God of War?
So what I wanted to do, I wanted to go off of the game, but I wanted to make it bigger and expand it to a better, because I feel like the game was good. You know, no disrespect to Santa Monica Studios and Sony. They did a great job, but I feel like there's a lot of things that are missing. And they wanted to put out a game where it was just like action, you know, cool, like a vibe, like let's get it, boom, boom, boom. But I wanted to put out a game where it only touches on Greek mythology, as a whole. It touches on Norse mythology as a whole, but it also touches on what's going on currently in our day and time. So I found a way, me and the writer Nicole Barber is her name, we found a way to get that message, and then bring it into what's going on today in our world, even with the financial issues, with our social injustices, with our gender orientations and all this stuff. I found a way to put all that into a 39-minute short film. And I still combine the fact of God of War. So
Wow.
it's crazy. It's been massive. I have over 60 people in this film, and everyone is just about as passionate about this project as I am. And it's literally a blessing to see how much more of an impact these people are that are a part of this, even more than me even just putting it out here to the world.
But is there any legal issues with using the God of War, or?
So what I was thinking is, there's technically in God of War, there's only 2 characters that are not Greek or Norse. So worst case scenario, if they ask me to take back those 2 characters, the story is still so great that I can add my own 2 brand new characters, because Zeus, there's no copyright on Zeus.
There's no, of course not.
These are all like characters.
Technically, there should be no copyright on the word God of War, because
because God of War is technically Ares, or whoever it is in tier. But at the same time, if they do have anything about the 2 characters that are created that are in the game, then I can literally, it's still a great story even without those 2. We could just change those 2 characters out. So I made it where it's still proof where we can still take this to the masses, because we're going to work on the feature after this. And then also, I won't disrespect them as well. So, because we want to take it to film festivals after this as well.
So did you approach them in a request for use or no?
I did not yet. I'm actually hoping they reach out. And the funny thing is it works 2 ways. Either one, they reach out and say stop, and I can make a whole video about how Sony told me to stop, which will be cool too. I'm excited about that too. Or 2, they reach out and want me to write an expand upon story based on their story. Not better, but just make a different.
Why not? Listen, let's hopefully this will put it out in the universe for them. And maybe they'll get to that message. Listen, like better fund this project, make it go straight feature film on it. If you can really get it to that level, put some action in it. Why not? God of War is $1 billion game. Why not? They can definitely make it happen. They can definitely push it out there.
And then with all these
people, by the way, that are already committed to this project.
Oh man,
wow, that's huge, by the way. I'm impressed on that alone.
Yeah, man, it's so many departments, like the makeup team, the hair team, the script writing team, the costume designer, because all custom costumes, custom weapons, like everyone that are so dedicated. Some have even just donated their time, like just to be a part of this project. And it became a sense where it's not about the money, it's about getting this message out. So I don't want to make money. Like, I do not want to make money off of this. So it's one good thing that it is is Sony's IP. So I don't want to make money. I just want to tell a message. I want to inspire. I don't want to just tell people that, Kratos was this God of War that just wanted to kill and just get this bloodlust. I want people to know that Kratos actually was fighting for a reason. There's a reason why he was, just like we're humans. Every effect that we have, there are causes because of that. So I just want to show that it's bigger than just what people think. It's deeper.
Right, no doubt. And don't forget also Kratos in the game, in the storyline, he's repented. He has done repentance towards the end of his life. He regrets the killing, obviously, which is almost every storyline of every murderer. Oh, I regret it. Oh my God, I'm so sad. Like it's the same. I want to see what made him repent. Like, he was fighting. He was crazy. They beat the crap out of Kratos. He's like, oh my gosh, who saves him? His wife. That, like, make a story like that. Like, what? We know people repent. They're sinners and they repented. How many has been done already? I don't get it anymore.
But not only that, but then I feel like they don't give a lot of the other Greeks gods and the Norse gods love. So in this, I'm giving everyone love. It's not just about Kratos. Kratos is literally, he's going to be the catalyst, but he's not going to be the story. So actually, Kratos might be the red herring in the whole movie.
Really? But didn't Kratos kill out the gods at the end in the game?
Well, and that's where we changed it. So I'm not going to tell the story too much. But for the most part, there will be probably some gods dying, but not all gods dying. And there's a reason for that, because we want to do like possibly a feature, and I want to show the greatness of all the gods. Like, because I mean, I'm not a real big fan of the Norse pantheon as much as the Greek pantheon. However,
Right.
they are still great and mighty, and I want to show why they are so impactful.
Well, if you're to show social concepts or constructs, right?
Exactly.
You would want to show how people with their ego have a consequence of death.
Right.
Well, all you had to do was break your ego, and then you wouldn't have fallen into death with a fight for no reason with people.
Funny you say that. That sounds like finances. Right? See, we're hand in hand, man. This is
because if you have ego in your financing, you will lose your money. You got to know when to pull out, not to be emotionally committed.
And also learn when to ask for help, man. Like, a lot of a lot of us humans, we think that we know everything. I had a coaching call not too long ago, and I said, the number one thing is you'll get rich when you admit that you don't know anything. As soon as you can admit that you don't know anything, that's when you can accept help. That's when you can accept different perspective. Because we don't know everything. I can't tell you what your life is like in New York, and you can't tell me what my life is like in Compton.
No.
But if I say, oh, I know what it's like, then how do you get
that?
No,
you don't know. I always try to tell people in general, your life experience cannot be a template for someone else's life experience. You can tell me your life experience that if by any chance I would be in a somewhat like situation, I remember Jarrell told me, you know what? I think he's right here. Let me back off. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the point is of, common, discussions and getting discourse involved. But no way you can say your life template applies to me. And I think that's the biggest problem we have socially in America. Everybody's creating these templates of color, creed, religion. It's not that way. Every individual is micro in his own self or her own self, or whatever self they want to say today. But that's not the point. I mean, I say he and her, but whatever. But whatever it is, because I'm a religious man. I can't go against my faith.
That's funny. I was raised in the 90s, so I don't know any other thing but to say that. So I'm sorry.
I'm also,
whoever, I guess, but I just know what I was raised. It's kind of weird to not go off of what I've been for 15, 20 years to just change it. Like, that's a huge change for somebody 20 years learning something.
Not just that, it's what it is. I think I also grew up in the 90s, right? Our generation is about tolerance. We were always taught tolerate the next person.
Yes.
Today's society is not about tolerate, is accommodate already.
Right.
Like, accommodate. Where? Why? Why do I got to accommodate? Are you going to accommodate for me? I'm like,
that is
I'll give you an example. If I got to accommodate for you in your pronouns, I would like you to accommodate me in my pronouns. I got a lot of religious pronouns.
Right.
I got a lot of religious positions I want or ideologies I want.
Yeah.
I would like for you to accommodate also, but it doesn't work that way.
And that's how it should be. But
it will never be that way because you cannot impose on another person anything. That's not the way society should work or needs to work. It will never succeed. It's like I'm imposing on you wealth or poverty. No.
Right. Exactly.
You can't. I can't impose poverty or wealth on anyone. Like, if you impose poverty, you're taking away from someone. You impose wealth, why are you giving him so much? Like, you never win.
You can't win either way it goes. I love that.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. All right. So besides God of War fan film, what else you got? I'm getting excited here. Like, people's got to know what you're doing. I love the idea because, first of all, by taking God of War, you're doing something very smart. You're taking it to the people's today and how they understand things, which is, I think, is very important. You got to sometimes take what is culturally known by the society or the communities, especially the gaming industry is huge. To present that, it's an easy way to show, look, this is what we're doing. This is the fanfare. Here's an alternate story, or here's a buy story that's part of the story. That's awesome. So anything else cooking here?
I've also been doing a few press tours. This is not film. I was in the film. I was in a film recently in November called, some people heard of it. It's a very small film. It's called Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
No, it's all very small, guys. It's very small. It's a baby film.
Yeah, I mean, but no, I was in that film. So I've been doing a few press tours where I'm going to different schools and talking to a lot of kids about motivation and becoming the next Black Panther. Basically, that's what the conversation is, and teaching them how to go from these inner city schools and become greater. Teaching them about making film. So that's really been taking up all my time, a lot. So aside from talking to these different schools, and I mean, these kids, man, like it blows my mind. Like these videos, it's just, it changed my life to see how much of an impact that we can have on the next generation. We always hear on the news about all the bad stuff that the older generation, but we never hear about the good stuff. So to be a part of that, it's crazy to me. So it makes me want to keep moving. It makes me want to keep working.
When they say older generation, I'm sorry cutting off. This is what bothered. I don't know. When they say older, are they talking about older generation, meaning our predecessors, or are we the older generation?
Well, you know what? For me, it's always prior, but I think we're the older ones now.
For them, right?
I think.
But I think they're missing our fathers, and mothers, You know what I mean? I think our generation messed up in educating the younger kids today.
Yeah, because it's a lot of people in our generation is really they're so they're not it's kind of like they're jaded, and the reason why is because they have some prior issues with how the older generation raised them. However, they did a great job because we turned out just about good, but we're
just fine.
I don't want to be like my father on some small things. Like we're a very sensitive generation. So we don't try to give those kids what we had, and we end up taking away from the beauty of what they gave us. And I think there's just, like you said, there's a disconnect. So
I think what they gave us was adversity. They gave us toughness.
Yes.
They prepared us. It's like you're going swimming. Just kick the kid in the pool and see what happens. That's what they did.
I'm telling you, tough love was great. Like, I don't understand. Like, I got socked in the chest a few times as a kid, and I turned out perfectly fine. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying go beat your kids.
No, I'm not saying we got to beat up kids, but we don't got to be ultra. I think we're ultra sensitive. It's one thing to be sensitive, but it's something to be ultra sensitive. That's where we're going with accommodation. But I wish we can do more films that do that. And I'm glad that you're doing these like press releases where you're going out, trying to get the peoples and the kids to educate themselves what it means to work hard. I'm tired of all these Twitter videos where you see kids fighting in airports, in the streets.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's everyone. It's everyone. It's not just, it has nothing to do with any type of peoples. It's just Americans as a whole, everywhere. Just kids are fighting, kids are bullying, kids are beating up. I don't remember that when I grew up in that sense, that it was such an extreme.
Yeah, if it was there, it wasn't that extreme. Like now it's way beyond.
Yeah.
And honestly, some of these kids just need love. And honestly, there's absent fathers in a few homes and absent mothers. So I mean, they just need someone that looks like them, no matter what you look like, to just go and talk to them. I mean, do
the kids come up to you? They talk to you? They pour out their souls out?
Man, I cried a few times. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, wow.
And it hit me because I was trying not to cry. But they were like, one kid, he had to be about 11. He was like, have you ever been shot at? And I'm like,
what?
11 years old, asked me have I ever been shot at. I'm like, I didn't want to say it, but they were like, just be honest. And I broke down and cried. And I was like, I remember living in a house in Compton, and there were drive-bys every night where I was from.
Yeah, but I just saw a video yesterday in social media where there was a bunch of kids, obviously in the underdeveloped neighborhoods, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm looking over there and I'm like, okay, these are kids having fun, talking, chilling. All of a sudden, bang, bang, bang. Like, what is this, a war zone? Are kids living in a war zone? How is that normal?
It's not.
It's not normal. We stop wars overseas, but we're not stopping the wars in America.
No, not at all.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, and like there's wars here. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope the films that we can maybe wake up people with these films.
And that should be the goal. That should be the goal. It's like, and then even the education system, if we have more of the teachers teaching, or at least not even because I don't want to give the teachers more work. Teachers do a lot of work, and they get
they're overworked. They're overworked. That's why they're
underpaid for sure. But if we can find a way where we can hire more actors and filmmakers to come into school, like after school program, and teach these kids about possibilities, and there is a way out of the hood. There is a way out of the inner cities. Like you can become something great, so they don't grow up and become these violent acts that attack kids that are trying to do right. And I think that's a disconnect. There's not a lot of Hollywood. There's not a lot of filmmakers that are coming down to talk to the kids. And honestly, I had one kid tell me that he felt like no one knew he was even alive, like he didn't exist. He's like, do people in Hollywood even know about us? And I'm like, that's sad.
That is very sad.
That they can say that. And
a lot of them do know. A lot of them have their own kids. Obviously, they're not gonna, it's a tough thing to actually demand from Hollywood. But I say as follows. If any actor wants to become a preacher and a rabbi or an imam or whatever it is, and you want to start being an influencer and a preacher, you got to lead by example.
Yeah.
You got to lead by example. That means A, start correcting your morals, your character, B, start doing what you do as an actor, as a creator, go to the schools, show some, love, just by one experience they have with you, you have changed the trajectory of all those kids instantly.
Right.
People don't get that. I mean, went through it. One or two meetings with many peoples, like Holocaust survivors we used to have coming into our private schools. We had soldiers, we had so many types of all types, right? And that creates a trajectory that says, okay, you know what, you got to appreciate more life. These are the things that you got to have, and you're doing it, man. That's people got to take a lesson from you. Open Mr. Johnson's playbook here, seriously, bro, like, come on.
And I want to share this last story about that, and then
shoot, go ahead.
So there was this one kid, I'll never forget, his name was Arturo, right? Latin guy, kid, sorry, not a guy, he's Latin kid. I'm already seeing this future already, like he's already doing great.
That's good. That's, by the way, that's awesome.
I want to say he was 12. He came up to me, he's like, oh, you were in Black Panther, you think I could be in Black Panther 3? And I said, if you want to be. I said, but how about this? How about you make your own film called Arturo?
Wow.
You don't have to have that. You can be your own filmmaker.
Right.
And he's like, I can do that. I'm like, you sure can? And then I said, if you come afterwards, I'll teach you guys some stocks. So I even had like a 20-minute conversation with them about stocks. So it's literally, they want to know, because their minds are like, I want to know.
Right. Don't forget, a lot of their family members might not have this knowledge or the access to knowing these things. And obviously they want a person to teach them. I mean, it's not fair. We live in a society in the US, and I think the US itself is a blessing to live here.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we are the consumer of the world. Like, if you take the concept of store and consumer, we are consumer, the globe is the shop.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And the consumer is always right. So I don't know what everybody's moaning and whatever, we're always right. But of course, if the consumer starts looking like a homeless person coming to the store, then we're not going to be in a good position. That's for sure. Now,
we lose all buying power easily.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm glad that those kids, I mean, they're coming up and they're saying, can I be in Black Panther? And you said it the right way. Make your own movie. Yeah. Make a movie about yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Wow. That's unbelievable. Like, listen, guys, I'm going to tell everybody, you got to take a lesson from Jarrell here. You got to take a lesson from Jarrell. I mean, by the way, we always say in iShook, from Hollywood to Main Street. I just told this to Daniel Baldwin today. I said, Daniel, you opened my mind, because he did like a 3-hour thing. So I said, Daniel, you know what? Like we say from Wall Street to Main Street, we should say from Hollywood to Main Street.
I like that.
Let people get back into creative. There's so many creatives out there. Yeah. Give them an opportunity to create their movies and their films and their short films and their ideas of, goodness to the world. Wow. All right, cool. Anything like directing wise? Because you mentioned do production and then a producer and directing.
So
how hard is it to direct, by the way? I mean, I want to know. How hard is it to direct like a short film? What's the budget? Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 questions. Okay. What's the budget for a short film, like a fan film that you did?
Okay.
I saw the reel, by the way. It's very cool. All right. What's the budget for something like that?
So a great budget for a short film would be anything under 10,000, in my opinion. And 10,000 should be the max for a short film. That's my opinion. I can make anything happen with anything, because I am that kind of person.
No, but listen, but you got that experience from a YouTuber from before Google bought it. Right? That was like where it started, and tech wasn't so high, and you're popping out content. That's crazy. Right. Like that's an experience in itself, by the way, which we got to talk about that one day. I mean, I really want to know how that experience was. That's a huge experience.
For sure. Yeah, but I would say 10,000 would be a good start for a short film, easily.
So what equipment would you need for that? Like what would be the required stuff?
I mean, it depends what level you want to go. If you want to say just starting off basic, I would say you would need a makeup team. Well, I don't know what kind of film you're working. So if you need makeup, then that would be a whole nother concept in hair, But I mean, camera wise, you can do honestly, a Blackmagic 6K can do some magic. I'm not Blackmagic. That's weird. But no, like I didn't even know what I just did there. When we shot,
when our minds are not in the gutter,
The funny thing is, we shot this with a Sony FX7, as well as a Blackmagic 6K. So we use both. But without that Sony, we could have still made this happen. And no disrespect to my Sony, because I love the Sony so much. That's like a Netflix ready cam. Oh my God, it's beautiful. But a Blackmagic 6K, you can shoot that. You can shoot the whole film with that. And you can rent them. You can just hire a camera person. Some people charge about $1,000 a day, or maybe 500 a day. You can find one on, it depends. But I think the most expensive thing you're paying for is literally the camera, the lighting. Lighting is about maybe 500 a day. So yeah, lighting and camera is your most expensive thing. I don't know if wardrobe or makeup is all intact. That'll be another charge. But just to shoot something, I would say just get a camera. Just one. You can get two is nice, but one is fine, and some lights. And
Right. So if you're directing and acting, how do you know your acting is not biased?
Okay, so and that's why
that's my biggest question with independent filmmakers like you. How do you know you're doing it good? You know, like, I don't know. I'm not an actor. I'm just
Well, see, and that's why I hire a director normally, because it's like I want a director. So what I do is I tell the director, as a producer, I'll tell the director what I want to be accomplished, right?
Right.
Then I turn my brain off and I go straight actor mode. So now the director knows what I want. So if I'm not doing it right, he can be like, that's not what you wanted. That's not what I wanted. You're doing it wrong. Redo it.
I got you.
But when you are the actor director and there is no director, you literally are acting with the monitor facing you as you're acting, and they're like, can you play that back? It's a lot harder, but
right.
It's possible. It's
right, because it's like you're writing your own story and you think your story is great, right?
Right. Like,
right. But you need another opinion. So I just want to know how. I just want people to figure out how to create. You know, like, we want people to create more, and if they can get a little good, Jarrell advice, or Jamba juice here, from Jarrell here, we'll be able to get. We'll be able to get, we'll be able to get more views on this podcast. I'm just kidding.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
These more views. Yes.
Get direct, get instant advice from Mr. Johnson. I love your name, by the way. It's such a cool name, man.
Thank you. I love giving advice too. I'm always a person. I don't hold anything back. I always get rewarded. God has been good to me. The universe has been great to me. I always get rewarded. So I love giving out the info. I might charge for a coaching call because that requires the reason why I charge for that is because people ask me this: why do you charge if you help people so much? Well, because I'm literally taking your brain and putting it in my brain, and I have to decompartmentalize my thoughts from your thoughts. It's a lot. It's like,
no, not just that. You're conforming your advice or direction for what he's at.
Right.
Right. That takes time. That takes energy. And with all due respect, never, ever, ever excuse yourself for making money. Yeah. You have an obligation to make money. People have an obligation to appreciate you by giving you money. That's no doubt. Yes, you can do sidebar or side things for free and for like a out of good gesture because you just want to pay it out to the world. Yeah. I'm with you, but I always say to people, never excuse yourself for making money. You have every right to make money and be there. I'll be honest with you. I want everyone to know that. You have a right to make money and you have a right to do good always. You can do some good and you can do some things that make money. Something that takes more effort, you make money. Something that's easy for you to do because it's like quick in your feet talent, you help those who you can, no problem, Right. That's the way I look at it. So I agree. Yeah, I want to be called when you get to that red carpet as a superhero. Say, Benny, you're welcome to come. I'm inviting you. I'm like, yo, awesome. I'm
as long as you have that beard, man, you're invited every
Yeah. I'll take it out. I'm not taking out the beard. I am not taking out the beard. I started growing it last year. One of my friends, he cut it, and I'm a religious man. I'm not gonna attack him. I said, don't worry, it's gonna grow better now.
I love that.
6 months later, I'm back here, but it's good. It's good.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you. Any writing, by the way, anything you do writing wise? Is there any scripts out there that you got available?
I'm currently working on a children's book.
Oh wow. By the way, we do books. We publish.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm waiting on it. I'm finished written. I'm just waiting on the illustrations. It's called 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵 𝗪𝗵𝗵𝗵 and it's literally about being okay, being different.
Wow.
So that's what I'm working on now. And then I'm working on a new film called 𝗥𝗲𝗪, which is about Icon, another fan film from DC. He's like the Black Superman.
Really?
And that's the next film that's the script we're working on.
So 𝗥𝗲𝗪 is your own idea, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's DC's, but I'm just, I'm enhancing it a little bit.
Yeah, but how are you going to kill us? You're going to kill us, guys. You're going to have all these lawyers calling. cease and desist. You know, what are you doing here?
Well, see, my thing is, as a black person, I'm so tired of black people wanting to be Superman when we already have our own Superman. It's like,
really?
And that's the point of me doing Icon. It's like there is someone that does that already. Like we don't need to have.
Yeah, but I think in the DC universe they try to submit that with Green Lantern. You know,
yeah,
with a black Green Lantern. I think that's what they're trying to do. But I think that's all between you and me. I don't think that that should be the focus in our communities.
No, it shouldn't be.
What it should be, they should have made Superman's brother be black or something, or a different diversity. Like there's something should have been done in that storyline.
Right.
But obviously, we understand why it's there. I mean, the reason why it's there is because those people who own DC were probably are white from the beginning of its creation, and they wanted to impose their point of view and their values. There's no doubt about it.
But my thing is, it's not about changing America. It's about making America better. We don't need to
I look at it differently. You know what I look at it differently? I look at it. It's not about changing America or even making America better. It's about showing all the faces of America.
I like that. I love that.
We are.
Do you mind if I think that?
Many faces.
I like that.
Why are we showing one face to the world all the time?
Right.
That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
This is where I'm upset about. Forget, it's not about racial.
Right.
We're all human. We're all brothers. When September 11 went down, we all went with camaraderie to fight or to do whatever we need to do to support each other and network. That's the America I know.
Yeah.
So what I am understanding is, why are we constantly dividing our country?
Right.
And why are we constantly only showing one face to the world?
Right. Exactly.
I'll be honest with you, now that Biden is president, no offense, I want Obama back.
Well, yeah, if I had to choose,
he attacked, and it has nothing to do because he was black. He attacked, he had order, he had structure, he knew how to talk, he knew how to respond. He had everything a president needed to have.
And the main thing about him is he listens.
That's true.
I mean, if I had to say the number one quality of Obama is he actually listened. Now, not saying that he can do everything, but he listened.
No one can do everything. No one can do it.
It doesn't seem like he listens at all, honestly.
No. Trump and Biden, in personality-wise, are two opposites.
Yeah.
Trump went to the right, and I don't mean right and left with society today. He went too right in the extreme of his speech, his insulting of people. If he just kept quiet, he would have been good. You know, he would have been perfect. He did a lot for the inner cities. He did a lot with Ben Carson, and I heard even a few others were involved. I don't know who they were, but there was a lot. I mean, I don't remember offhand. Biden went to the other side. Like he doesn't even care. Like he's not insulting people, but he's not talking.
Right.
You know, he's like talking gibberish.
He's like a statue. He's just
It's like, I don't know. Like honestly, I be honest with you. Like if I'm thinking about it, if Obama will run again, I mean, maybe I will vote for him. Honestly, if there was an Obama, like I know RFK is very good. If RFK will get the nomination, I will vote for him way more than any other Republican.
Yeah, you know that's interesting. I was just talking to somebody the other day. I think us as society, we just want someone to trust and believe in. And it starts with how they carry themselves. Because if you can't even carry yourself correctly, how do I know you're going to carry us correctly?
Exactly. But that's why RFK is the best. He carries himself. He carries himself very well.
How you carry yourself.
But they don't want him. They don't want him. They don't want RFK.
Yeah.
They don't want RFK.
That's crazy.
I don't know why. He's saying the same things that Trump is saying or been saying. He's a moderate Democrat, which is what I believe in. The moderate. I don't care what Democrat, Republican. If you're in the middle, you're moderate. I'm good with you. I don't like extremes in either aisle. I don't like insults either. You're president. You can't insult people. That's nonsense. Your impact of insulting can make a person shoot himself.
That's true.
That's that you're in the highest position. You got, and that's why I also tell Hollywood actors. I tell everybody, bless you, God bless you. I always tell all these people, listen, you're in a position of influencing.
Yeah.
Wake up, man. Wake up.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, plug Jarrell. He's the guy to look up to. If you need anyone to look up to, you gotta look up to this guy. I already can feel the guy, man. Look at this guy. He's awesome. So the writing, I love that thing with the Black Superman. It's awesome. I mean, we got to push that thing forward. I mean, if we can make a DC deal, we got to make.
I'm excited for that. It's going to be fun. And this will be my second project. So not only all the issues that I had with this one, I'll have most of them handled for the next one. So that's what I'm happy about.
I'm saying, wouldn't you be let's create our own Black Superman
Yeah.
without DC's help.
Yeah.
Do it with iShook Comics. Listen, we're closing a deal here.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, actually, the name is, 𝗪𝗏 is already a good name for it to be like on a comic book anyway.
Yeah, iShook Comics. Listen, I wouldn't mind. Let's develop a story like for real Black Superman, right? Like something cool, something never thought of before. Someone that people can see the other face of America.
Yeah.
Right? Why not? Like I would want to read that. I would want to know. Listen, and I would like to go through history based on because I know that what happened. What was that? They said it was the Black Wall Street. What's that the area? Oh my God, tip of my tongue.
Wait,
they used to call it Black Wall Street.
You talking about the city that they used to call?
It was massacred back then.
I think I know what you're talking about. I just
Tulsa, America. Tulsa.
Yeah.
Tulsa. If we can make something off that where he falls in there, he's a survivor.
That'd be cool.
And he's like, and they saved him, and they actually wanted, like, we'll make it like a little change. They killed the whole city because they thought there was an alien there. Besides they had some racial issues there too. And then he survives it, and then he gets raised by himself, and he's learning the powers. I just made all this up.
That's funny that you made it up. It's pretty close to the story, actually. That's
really? I never read it.
That's what I'm like. You sure you never read this? That's funny.
I didn't even know.
Because actually, it's very similar. Because he started off as an alien who
really.
Well, his story is he came in on Earth like Superman, but he was an alien and it was no race. But he identified to the first race he saw. But he came down when slavery was impact. The first race he saw was black. So he didn't know whether that was good or bad. He just saw he wanted to assimilate so he wouldn't be an alien. So he had to assimilate to be black, which is hilarious. So you understand the same story without even that's pretty cool. That's it. That's exactly the story.
That's awesome. I don't know what you're thinking of.
Maybe we should do it with 𝗪𝗏 Association, man, because that was it.
Yeah, listen, I'm game. But that's the thing that we definitely, I think it's important.
Yeah.
And I always tell people it's important to know who you are. Don't run away from you're black, you're Jewish, you're white, whatever, you're Hispanic. You got to embrace who you are.
You're first. Yep.
And but doesn't mean we can't interact as a community, as a structured community.
I feel like that's a disconnect. Once you know who you are, then you can accept other people for who they are.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Right? That was it. That's a shirt.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be a shirt right there, man. I'm telling you.
But it's true. It's absolutely true. That's it.
Damn, that's good. That's good. I didn't think of that. That's right. That's right. Wow. Yo, so that's like I'm excited with that, with the God of War, and then you have the children's book, and then you have this with a comic. I mean, and then I'm sure you got something else you're doing. I
got so much stuff going on. We'll be here all day. But that's a blessing. I don't want the universe to think that I'm not thankful and grateful. I'm very happy for everything.
No, it's good. It's good.
I am working on another fan film. This one is not mine. Someone liked the way I look and wanted me to play Luke Cage in a Marvel fan film because they thought I'm big, I guess. I have muscles supposedly. So they wanted me to play.
Really? I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see
it either at all. So they wanted me to play Luke Cage. So that trailer is coming out in 2 weeks. So that'll be fun.
Wow.
That'll be real fun. That's one of my favorite. We worked so hard. I got injured so much. I beat up so many people. I got hurt so much that I would love for everyone to watch that because there was a lot.
Let me ask you. You actually did your own stunt work?
Yes.
No way.
Yes,
You gotta tell us, how does that work? You gotta teach us. We want to learn. How does that work?
Well, I mean, the fight choreography tells you what to do and you just follow him, but it's work because like not only do you remember lines, you remember movements. Like, and I don't think people realize doing stunts, you have to remember the movement because you can hurt someone. If you miss the wrong move And
Right, you can.
of course, you can literally hurt someone.
Did you hurt anybody by accident, or does that happen?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I broke someone's nose, but I think he's okay now. But
Oh,
it was an accident. I mean, the cool thing is you have to work with cool people, because if it was a jerk or somebody mean, oh, you
right.
suck me, and then I quit.
Was
So it's
he
a
a
whole
stunt person or was he an actor?
thing.
He was an actor.
I think he was an actor, but he said he was a stunt person. So I don't know.
Oh man, that's
I'm
great.
sorry. He took one for the team though. Good God.
That's unbelievable. So you did like a John Wick style. Well, I don't know if it was John Wick level, but it was for sure Marvel style stunt coordination.
I would actually argue that I think it's, and I'm not just saying this because I'm in it, but I think it's better than a Netflix series for the Luke Cage.
Really?
It looks really good. It's so good. The story is better. The script is more developed. The action is cool. And it was all done by the actors. Unlike getting stunt doubles, all the actors did their own stunt work.
So let me ask you, Glenn, where is that going to be released? That's like awesome stuff. Where's
That's
the
gonna be
plug for
YouTube. That one's YouTube for sure.
Wow.
That's definitely YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to make a lot of money on YouTube with that thing.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Wow, people are going to watch the hell out. How many minutes is that?
I think they said about 15. It won't be that long. It's
Yeah, but that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool.
Well, see, the thing is in this day and age, you know, I call it the TikTok generation. A lot of these people don't have the brain and mindsets to watch long form content. So sometimes that short form is just
Well, not just that. I think it's even more so. I think what's going on with society today is and that's why I think there's more mental health issues today than there was ever before, because they're digesting more information that their minds are trained to contain. Because what you have to understand is like movies are how many frames per second? 30, 40, 60?
Yes, 60 and up.
Right. So the eye is literally seeing 60 images a second.
Yeah.
You're digesting 60 images a second.
That's a lot.
That's a lot in the brain.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're reading a book, it's much easier to digest information in written word because you're just reading and you're reading one page and you're learning more in a sense sometimes, most times. Right.
Times.
But I think that's the issue. But you're 100% right. Like people don't have that attention span.
No, they
you
don't.
can make a killing on that 15 minutes with Luke Cage, with the fighting scenes.
Yeah.
Man, if you broke someone's nose, I'm excited to watch it, bro. I want to see that film. You gotta send me the plug on that.
I will for sure. As soon as the trailer's out, I will. You'll probably be in the top 5. I have to give it to the manager first, but you'll be in the top 5. Sure.
That's awesome.
My son gets it second, but you'll be in the top 5.
Wow, appreciate that. Listen, I feel honored. I think we're going to close it off, guys. I'm going to put all of Jarrell's information in the bottom of this YouTube page, YouTube video. And listen, look him up. I think he's going to be the biggest. He's already the biggest creative that I met so far, almost. Right? I'm not going to insult the other creators, but I believe that you're one of the biggest that I know. And I believe that he's going to be he's the future, a potential superhero, kind of type of, roles. I mean, Marvel, DC, look him up. Look up Jarrell. I'm telling you, you're losing a huge opportunity here with this guy. So everybody, thank you for watching this podcast. Have a good day. Be well and peace, brothers.
Thanks.